Hey YouTube, this is Work with Maisha. I want to thank everybody who coming on here to watch my videos, and definitely remember to like and subscribe, and you want to ring that bell so you can get notifications anytime I upload a new video. So this topic that I have today is we are all under construction. We're going to look at ourselves as Chinese bamboo trees, and I will give you the analogy. Les Brown gives an analogy about a Chinese bamboo tree. And that Chinese bamboo tree essentially does not grow. You don't see any evidence of growth until 5 years. Meaning this tree takes a lot of work. You plant these seeds, you have to water it every single day. I'm talking about every day. You have to nurture it. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent, because if you do not nurture it the way that's supposed to be, it won't grow. But when you consistently water it, you speak to your seeds, you nurture it, you just take care of it, it grows more than 100 feet, meaning it's the tallest bamboo tree. So just look at yourself in this analogy that you're that Chinese bamboo tree. And let's say that you have a decision to make, right? Where you want to go into a new business venture, whatever it may be. Anything that you start off in the beginning takes a lot of work. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. Just remember that consistency is way better than intensity. So a lot of the times, a lot of people like to put in a lot of hours, right? And just run fast to get the work done in the beginning while you're developing. And success does love speed. So I do encourage people to move at a quick pace. But at the end of the day, you have to do something that you know that you could be consistent with. Because a lot of the times what happens is when you move at these quick pace, it's something that you can't maintain on a regular basis. And if you do something that you cannot maintain, then you eventually are going to stop working on your dreams and goals. So the first action step is to always get that pen and paper out. And what you're going to do is write down what's your long-term plan. I'm going to write what your long-term plan is. And I'm going to tell you something too with this long-term plan. You have to be creative. You have to use your imagination, because what happens is the older and older we get, we tend to lose our imagination. We tend to lose our creativity. And as children, remember, we have like childlike faith. We have childlike faith, meaning we don't have a care in the world about what we want to accomplish, because nobody ever told us that we couldn't do it. But somewhere in the line, somebody said something to you that made you limit your creativity. And this goes back to that book in the 4 Agreements. Even where you can listen to the audiobook, and I'll just give you a quick analogy where this little girl has such a beautiful voice. She loved to sing. She sang on a consistent basis. So one day her mother was coming home from work. She had a migraine. And you always know where you get that nagging migraine to where your head just really hurts and every little noise bother you. Well, this girl was so excited to see her mother come home. So you know how children are. When they see you, they're full of energy. They're excited, right? And what happened is this little girl was singing, because she was so excited that her mother was home that she just kept on singing. And then the mother just, lashed out and was like, "Oh, your voice is so ugly. Just stop singing." And from that day, that little girl made an agreement that she would never sing before, because she agreed with her mother. My voice is ugly, right? And she just made an agreement that she would never sing again. And then she became shy. Nobody could get her to sing. Even if her mother asked her to sing, she never sung. She never sung at school. She just got really quiet as a whistle. And she carried that on for the rest of her life. And that's what happens to most of us. Somebody at some point in time, and maybe it's our parents, it could have been anybody else, says something to us to inject doubt, and we agree with them. And they don't mean it. Sometimes we unconsciously say something to people, but that's what happens. And that's how we limit our creativity. And remember, we are not, we're animals, but we're not like animals to where we can't talk. We have thought, we have freedom of choice. So this is where it goes back to where this bamboo tree is. You want to make a decision on what you want to do long term so you can live an extraordinary life, because this is how you can participate in this promise. If you work day and night, if you work hard, you know, like I said, intensity is better than consistency is better than intensity. So if you work on a consistent basis, and we're using this analogy with the Chinese bamboo tree, where you water that tree, where you be consistent, where you just nurture and you tune out the naysayers, because you may not see any evidence of growth, and that may feel you inadequate and unworthy, and it questions yourself. But you have to have faith as little as a mustard seed. And remember, faith and fear does not go together. If you saying that you are faithful and that you know that you will participate in the promise, that you will live an extraordinary life and you will be able to do the things that most won't, because you're not living in the now. You're sacrificing and you're working towards getting your goal. And where most people quit easy, most people quit, they don't continue with their plan because they get discouraged. The statistic says most time when people get less than 10 no's, they quit. Right? So you have to just remember that if I continue to work on my goals and I am a Chinese bamboo tree and I don't see any kind of evidence of growth for 4 years, that 5th year, what happens with the Chinese bamboo tree? It sprouts up and it grows so tall, over 100 feet. It's the tallest tree on the block. But remember, while you was working and watering this bamboo tree, or while you was watering those seeds, people was injecting doubt. They was laughing at you. They was telling you, I don't see anything. They was ignoring you, telling you that you were foolish. You know, they was looking at you like you was doing something that was a complete waste of time. I don't see no tree today. Remember, they planted some seeds and they started to see a harvest in less than a year. But here you are, year after year, watering something that you didn't even know was really going to come up. But you have faith as small as a mustard seed. And because you was faithful and you did the activity, you grow the tallest tree. And then the naysayers is like, oh my goodness. And you have an extraordinary tree. You have the tallest tree on the block. Those people that was ridiculing you and criticizing you, shut up really quick. Because you have faith as small as a mustard seed, knowing that you is going to experience exponential growth. So that analogy with the tree, you want to put yourself in that analogy. And you want to know that if I continue to be consistent, if I just keep on working on myself, if I work on my creativity, if I just expand my imagination, if I get down to the root cause of why I started to limit myself from dreaming big, and then just burn those limiting beliefs and just work on where you want to go in life, then you will live that extraordinary life. So I really hope that you guys gain value out of what I just said to you. Just look at yourself at that Chinese bamboo tree and just tell yourself that I will never give up. I'm going to figure out my plan of what I want to carry out in my vision, whether you want to become a YouTuber, whether you have a business goal, whatever you want to do. Write out that plan and stretch yourself. Don't write some easy goal that's going to be easy to hit. Write out something that almost may seem impossible to do, but you know because you have faith, you will make it happen. So write out your goal and know that if you do the action steps on a consistent basis, you will participate in that promise to where you will live an extraordinary life, right? So you want to do that. You want to have faith. You want to start doing the activity every day to nurture your goals every day, meaning you're not going to skip a beat. Consistency rather than intensity. You may not have to spend all day working on it, but you want to do little activity every single day. And remember, it takes the 5th year to start seeing that exponential growth. So remember, just don't quit easily and you will live an extraordinary life. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for definitely watching my video. And remember to like and subscribe. So this is Maisha. Thank you so much for coming onto my channel.